Today we have to start with the second part of the Unit 2 that we have already started, not the Unit 2 but the first lecture that we have started with. We have learned something about the sequence and series, and we are going to continue with the same, and we will cover more of the topics regarding the same, the sequence and series. So if we have a little bit introduction what we have learned yesterday, and as a sequence what we have learned is sequence means a function whose domain is a set of natural number beginning with 1. This is what we have learned, correct? And we have learned that the sequence can be infinite or it can be finite. If we have finite number of terms, obviously it is a finite sequence, and in infinite sequence we have the last term as we have written here, that it's starting with 1, 2, 3 and followed by ellipsis. So here we are showing that the sequence is not going to end, but it is an infinite sequence. And new thing that we have learned yesterday is we have to represent a sequence in the form of an, and whatever the function is, it will give me the different terms for the different values of n, and they are called as the terms of the sequence. And if we have to write down the terms how we will represent the sequence, this is how we have calculated it, and how we have represented. We have written as an ordered list. If I put the n value as 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on in this sequence n, then what we obtained is the number. We are getting 2, 7, 12, 17, 22 and so on. So here we have written an infinite sequence. So we are getting some of the terms, we have shown some of the terms, and then we have written comma followed by ellipsis to show that this is an infinite sequence, right? But if it is followed by a final number, means we are going to take the last number also in the picture. Here you can see the example. Then this is known as a finite sequence. So this is how we are going for the sequences. Then we have done some of the example that if the general term is given, as here in the example, the general term is given an is equal to n into n minus 1 by 2. Then we have learned how to write down the sum terms. Means if we have asked for here to write down the first 5 terms, we have substituted n as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we have calculated the values. Similarly, we have calculated the hundredth value which is being asked in this question. So this is how we have done with the sum terms for the given sequence we have calculated. In the second question, the difference was that here x value is given. So direct numerical values are not extracting here from the sequence, but we are getting the values as minus x square, x cube, minus of x4, x5 and minus of x6. So here also we have calculated the first 5 terms. If we talk about the next thing we have learned, so that is the series. And what is the difference if we talk about the sequence and series? So series we have learned, it is the sum of terms. Whatever we have seen, that in sequence we are separating the terms by commas, and we are writing out that either is a finite sequence or a infinite sequence. In series, what we are taking the sum of the terms that we have written in the sequence. And again, it can frame infinite series or it can be a finite series. If we are taking finite numbers, and what we have pronounced it, we are saying the partial sum. If we have taken here the 5 numbers and obtained their sum, we have represented it by S5, and this is the fifth partial sum. If I include 2, so that is the second partial sum. In this way, we have learned what is the meaning of the partial sum in terms of a series. Correct? And we have learned the representation as Sn and S infinity. Sn for finite series, S infinity for infinite series. Means we are going to take the numbers from the sequence, we are going to find their sum, and they are going to the infinite number of terms. So this is how we have learned. Correct? One more question we have discussed about, that we have to find out the third and fifth partial sum of the sequence, which is a given one infinite sequence. So what we have taken for S3, we have taken the first 3 terms. For S5, we have taken the first 5 terms and have the answers. Then we have obtained the answers to evaluate the summation notation. We have used, and k is taken from 2 to 5, minus 1 raised to power k into 3k. So what is to be done here? We have to take k as 2, 3, 4, 5, because it is starting from the lower limit 2 to 5, and we have to substitute the values of k and find the sum. So this is how we have obtained the answers. In the seventh question, it was given from 0 to infinity. Still now in the examples, we have taken some finite number of terms. Here we are saying for the given expression, which is this expression for the sequence, you have to expand this. So here what new we have learned, that whenever we are talking about the infinity, obviously we can't go to infinity, because the student might get confused that here we are talking to add the expression, to evaluate it, to expand it from 0 to infinity, which is not possible to write down, correct? So what we have done, we have to write down 4 to 5 terms, and we have to write down plus ellipses, means it shows that we are going in the same way till infinite term. So this is how we have done. We have taken the first term by taking n is equal to 0. Here n is starting from 0. So we have taken with n0, with n1, with n2, with n3, and then we have said and so on. This is how we pronounce this up to infinity. So we have said this is and so on terms are there. So this is how we are getting the expanded form of this example. Then we have learned about the arithmetic sequence. If we talk about the arithmetic sequence, so what we have learned, then in the arithmetic sequence, there is a common difference D, which is the difference between the two consecutive terms. Means if we have 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and somebody asks me, is it in arithmetic progression or arithmetic sequence? Obviously yes, because the difference between each of the term between 1, 3, 3, 5, 5, 7 is 2. So we can write down the general term as an is equal to an minus 1 plus 2. Means if the previous term is known to me, I can calculate the new term by adding 2 to it. If 1 is given, means only initial value is given and this general term is given, then what I can do? I can write down that this second term is equal to first term plus 2. So I will get this 3. Next term is equal to 3 plus 2, which is 5. Then it is 5 plus 2, 7, 7 plus 2, 9, and so on. So in this way we will continue. So this is how we are finding out the arithmetic sequence. Then we have learned that how we can represent any of the term in terms of the initial term, because sometimes it is not possible that, for suppose we have taken an example also, that here we have to find out, suppose first 5 terms are given and we are asking for what is the 100th term. I think this is the example we have taken. So it is not possible that to calculate the 100th term I will use the 99th term. This is what the general form is giving me, that an is equal to an minus 1 plus d. So this is known to me that if I use the 99th term and add d to it, I will get 100th term. But I don't think it's so easy, because in the same way if I proceed, 99 value I have to calculate. So instead of doing that thing, what we are doing, we are going to write down each of the terms in terms of the initial one. So how we have written, if we are talking about A3, what we have done, A3 can be written as the initial term plus the difference into 2. If we are talking about A4, it can be directly calculated if initial value is known by adding 3 times the difference, and similarly all others. So how we have written the uh, again, it's a general form. We can say a formula that how arithmetic sequence can be written in terms of the first element, the first initial value. So here we have seen that if we are talking about an, then it can be written as a1 plus, here if we have 5, we have 4. Here if we have 4, we have 3. This is what we are getting. So we can write down an can be written as a1, the initial term, plus n minus 1 times d, where d is the common difference. So this is the formula that will help you in finding out any of the term which is being asked to you when the initial term is known, we are aware of what a1 is, and the common difference is known. Right? So this is what we have learned. Earlier what we have said, we said that an is equal to an minus 1 plus d. This is the general term. To find out the next term when the previous term is known to me. Now we are saying might be it's not easy to calculate the previous term. Then also we can calculate a particular term by knowing the initial value by using this formula, that an is equal to a1 plus n minus 1 times d. Correct? So for this example, we have already done this. We have given with a sequence, an arithmetic sequence, and we have used it to calculate the 100th term. So what we have done, we have used this formula, what is d, what is the initial term, and what is the general form. So here we have calculated an. An was given as a1 plus n minus 1 d. By putting the value of a1 and the common difference, we obtain 3n plus 4, and hence a 100 can be calculated as 304. So this we have done. I think we have done the first example, if I'm correct. No, this we have not done. So let us start with example 2. And now it's your time to use a pen and paper also. You have to discuss with me also if you are getting some doubt. Otherwise, it is just one side lecture. And actually, I'm not habitual to give lecture. It is just we have to go for the discussion and increase in enhance our knowledge. No? So it's better that you also have to participate along with me. Otherwise, I will not be able to continue. No? Let's start with example 2. Here we are saying find an equation for the general term of given arithmetic sequence. This is one thing. And use it to calculate the 75th term. So we are getting there. First, we have to find out what is the common difference D. And the second thing is, in order to find out the 75th term, if we are going to write down the general term, obviously we are looking for that how I can write down an is equal to a1, the initial value, plus n minus 1 times d. So can you calculate what is the 75th value? I'm waiting for an answer. So till the time I have started calculating, you also have to do and write down in the chat box, please. Here, let us see. We are calculating the 75th term. Better take your pen and paper and start working on it. I'm just working slowly so that you can let me know the answer first. If we talk about A75, then A75 is A1 means 6. This is our initial term plus n minus 1. N minus 1 means 75 minus 1, 74 into d. So what the term we need to calculate the answer is that what is the value of d? D means the common difference, correct? So if we look for here, the terms are decreasing. The difference of 6 and 4. 2 means I have not added something. Actually, I have taken minus 2. 6 minus 2 gives me 4. So we have expected minus 2 and hence getting an answer. Similarly, here 4 minus 2 is 2, 2 minus 2 is 0, 0 minus 2 is minus 2. So this is what we are getting as a sequence. And if we are talking about here, so I have to use the common difference and find out the 75th term. Some of you have started giving me an answer. Let's wait for others to be given. Only Sumit and Gagandeep has given me, but all others try to give an answer. And be sure to go for that either the answer is negative or positive, because if you are writing out a positive answer and the answer is actually negative, so it is a wrong answer. Gagandeep, check your answer beta. Is it in positive or in negative? We are getting a value 6 plus 74 and d we have obtained as in negative. So 74 into minus 2 will be a negative term and we are having plus of 6. So obviously negative term is big and we have a small positive term. So answer should be negative. I have not calculated yet. So if all of you have calculated, we will take it. Try to write down the correct answer. Some of you have given me the correct answer. All others, please try. But all others, please write down. I hope so. All of you are active. Again, between let me check if Tanu is trying to come here and join us. But they always try to come here in the first 5 minutes so that at 12:10 we can mark the attendance. As Tanu is might be trying to join us but is not able to join because I have not seen the request. Isn't Mitra? I have already shared with you the yesterday's lecture with you as a YouTube link. You can go through it. And regarding today also, you can visit there and I will share with you. All others, I request you better write down the values, whatever you are getting. If any discussion you need, you can let me know. Otherwise, it's so simple that I expect the value to come from all of you. Okay, let us continue with the concept. I don't know why you are not responding. Only one, two students have written the answer, and all others are still waiting for the answer to be shown. Huh? And that's not good because if all of you are not doing here, then it's not good. Sanjeev, you have given me an answer which is partially correct. Let's check it again. Gagandeep, you have also given me an answer which is partially correct. Okay, let's start with the discussion because otherwise it will be just you can say we are taking so much time for a simple example. Sanjeev, correct? He has corrected. So let's see what the things are to be done and how we are going getting the answer. He was saying that d is equal to minus 2 because the common difference we have calculated is minus 2. A1 is known to me is 6. If a1 is 6, we have the initial term, so we can write down 6 plus n minus 1 into minus 2. That gives me this expression. So this is how we can write down the general term. Then after we have to calculate the 75th term, so I can use 8 minus 2 into 75. Okay? So it will give me the value of minus of 142. Now, this is how we are getting the value. Most of you have written the answer. Some of you have written it in a positive way. 142 might be in hurry or might be you have done the calculation mistake. Means if you are getting a negative, obviously the answer is minus 142. It can't be positive 142. So be clear about it and next time sure to give me the correct answer. So let's start with another one. Here we are saying find all the terms in between a1. A1 is given to me as minus of 8 and A7 is given to us as 10. We have to find out all the terms, means we are looking for what is the value of A2, A3, A4, A5 and A6. And in other words, they have already explained that find all the arithmetic means between the first and the seventh term. So let us first start with the first thing what we are looking for. We have been provided with A1, we have been provided with A7. So two values are given and we are looking for the answers of what A2, A3, A4 up to A6 are. Okay. So how we can obtain? Again, we have to use the formula. We are saying An is equal to A1 plus n minus 1 of D. Correct. So here A1 is already known to me. If I use A7, A7 can be used as 10. So if I have to use n is equal to 10, from here I can use An means A7 is equal to A1. A1 is minus 8 plus n minus 1. N minus 1 is over 7 minus 1, 6. 6 times D. So calculate first the D value from there. To do by yourself, I will do. But let's see how much you can do. So here if you have to write down, D value has to be calculated first. And if I know about the D value, then I can easily calculate the formula, the general form that An is equal to A1 plus n minus 1 of D. Correct? And then by putting n is equal to 2, n is equal to 3, 4, 5 and 6, I can find out the in-between values. So start doing it. Find out A2. A2 is equal to A1 plus D, whatever you have calculated, into n minus 1. So that is the second value. Similarly, for n is equal to 3, we have A1 plus D times n minus 1. So try it, and do not wait for a teacher to be complete all the examples. It's you who have to learn. So it's better that you are showing me what your answer is coming. No, I will obviously show you, but I'm waiting for your responses. I'm also doing with a pen and paper, and I'm getting up to fourth term. And let's see what the final answers are coming. I'm just doing it.
Ma'am,
Anji.
ma'am, A2 is minus 5, A3 is
Mm-hmm.
minus 2, A4 is
Correct.
1, A5 is
Mm-hmm.
4, and A6
Mm-hmm.
is 7.
Correct, Bitu. Done. So one of you have given me an answer. What about others? Let's start writing out the values. Or you can just switch on the speaker and speak it up. If you think that it's not feasible to write on, speak it up. Already you have seen what the answers are, and let's verify how we are getting. And I think all values are correct. I too got the same values from which I have verified. Let's see. Here we have the first thing to be taken care of is we have been provided with the A1, the first value, the initial value, and with the A7. A7 is a in between a value, and we are looking from these two the all middle values from A2 to A6. So we can use the formula that An is equal to A1 plus n minus 1 of D, correct? And how we have obtained D? We have, I think here I have not shown you. Let's work over here. If we talk about A7, so we can write on A7 means An is equal to A1. A1 is over minus 8 plus n minus 1. N minus 1 means 7 minus 1, 6 into D. This is how we can write down. And the value we know is A7 is given as 10. We have used the formula of An is equal to A1 plus n minus 1 of D. And if I substitute A7, so it is 10 is equal to minus 10 plus 60. Correct? This is how we can write down. And if I simplify it, it gives me 18 is equal to 60 by taking this minus 8 here. It becomes 18 is equal to 60, or I can say D is equal to 18 by 6, that gives me 3. Correct? So if I have obtained the value of D, I can put in the formula that An is equal to A1, this is my A1, plus n minus 1 into D, where I have substituted the value 3. So this is my D value. And if I simplify it, what we are getting? We are getting minus 8 plus 3 and minus 3. On simplification, it will give me minus 11 plus 3n. So this is 3n minus 11 we have obtained as a general term. And after that, we have to put n is equal to 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 to find out the in between terms. So A2 we are getting minus 5, then minus 2, 1, 4 and 7. Finally, if we have to verify, we can also check whether A7 is coming correctly or not. So we have 21 by putting n is equal to 7 minus 11 gives me 10. So this is how we are getting the values. Correct? And with that, I request all others, those who have joined us but still not giving me an answer, to please be active with your pen and paper. Otherwise, it's not easy. Means already we are uploading the PPT in advance, but here in the lecture you have to be active and try to do the things by yourself. Correct? When I, being a teacher, I was just doing because of you that how much time you need to do with your pen and paper and waiting for an answer, you have to be active. Correct? So let's start with the other, and hoping so you are going to give me the response. Here we are saying find the general term of the sequence where A3 and A10 are given. So here again A1 is not known to me, and what else? D is not known to me. And what we are looking for? We are looking for the general term, that how I can find out An. And might be sometime we ask for the general term and we said hence find out this and this. This is the way to ask the question. So again, if we talk about A3, we can write on A3 is equal to A1 plus n is 3, so n minus 1 of d means I can write on A3 is equal to, let me start with, and be sure to have your pen and paper to work with. If I have the formula, I can write on A3 is equal to A1 plus n minus 1. Now n is 3 here, so I can write on 2 times d. And what is this value? From this value is given to us as minus 1. Similarly, if we write down A10, how I can write down A10? A10 can be written as A1, the initial value which is not given, plus n minus 1. N minus 1 will become 9. 9 times d, which is given to me as 48. So you have two equations. A1 plus 2d is equal to minus 1, and A1 plus 9d is equal to 48. And I hope so all of you know how to solve the two equations in two unknowns. And if I solve this system, I will get obviously the answer of A1 and D, and hence I can find out the general solution or the general equation. So find it out. A simple way to find out the answer is subtract the two equations. If I subtract, I will get 7d. 7d is equal to 49. So I think you know what the d value is. So it's again easy if I understand how to find out the A1 and D, the two equations in two unknowns. And finally, we have to write down the values. And using the two values, I can write down the general term. Hope so you have obtained D value. And if I substitute D value in any other equation out of these two, I can find out the first term. Start working, beta. I have solved. Now try to write down the answers in the chat box, and so that I will come to know that you have done. Again, let me repeat what the procedure you have to adopt. Two things are given to me, A3 and A10. We are looking for the general term. In order to find out the general term, we must have A1, we must have D. If we write down what general term is, so I have to start the question that the general term is given by AN is equal to A1 plus n minus 1 times of D. It means to write it down, I need the value of the common difference D and the initial value A1. But since we have been provided with A3 and A10, we have to use them, and we have to write down A3 is equal to A1 plus 2D using this formula. Na? If I write down n as 3, it becomes A1 plus 3 minus 1 means 2D, which is minus 1. Here if I write down n as 10, it becomes A10 is equal to A1 plus n minus 1, n is 10, so I will get 9D, which is equal to 48. Correct? So using these two equations, I need to calculate this A1, I need to calculate this D. And the easiest way, because it is just A1, A1, so what we can do, we can write down on subtracting the two equations, what we were getting, that will give you the value of D. So I'm not going to do, I'm waiting for you, otherwise I will just sit idle. So I'm waiting for your responses. Be sure to give me an answer. Sumit, Antar, Gagandeep. Should I pronounce each and everyone names? Be sure to be fast and give me an answer. Hamid, Kuwar, Sanjeev, Shivani, Umesh. Those who have joined, some of you I think have left, one or two persons. But those who are active, not sleeping, please give me an answer. What is your D? And then what is your A1? And after calculating the two, you have to just put the value and write on the journal term. Is it so hard? Actually, 1 2 more minutes, then I will show the solution. I'm not sure why are you taking so much time. I have expected answer early.
Ma'am, is D equal to 7?
D is equal to 7, correct? D is 7. So let me work on the screen to show you how you are getting D is equal to 7 so that all others can work with us. Here we have these two equations, and if I subtract the two, A1 will cancel out this A1, and 9 minus 2, I will get 7 of D. Right? I'm just subtracting this first equation. Let me take, this is our first equation, this is my second. So what I am doing, we are doing 2 minus 1. And why we are doing 2 minus 1? Because if I am doing 2 minus 1, here it's easy for me to take 9 minus 2 because A1 is cancelling out A1, and 9 minus 2 give me 70 is equal to, and here also 48 minus of minus 1. So 7 of D is equal to 49. So D is coming as 7. This is the first thing you have done. Correct? Now if D is 7, we can substitute this in any of the equation. Let us take, let us me put in equation 1. So from 1. If I write down from 1 what we are going to take, I will take A1 plus 7 to the 14 is equal to minus of 1. So A1 is equal to minus of 15. I think all the things we have done. Now can you write down please what your answers are coming using this A1 and D as a general term? This is our D and this is our A1. Now we have to write down here the general term, so I can write down from here AN is equal to A1 means minus of 15 and plus of n minus 1 D. Now what is D? D is our 7. Correct? So I will get 7 of n, and getting 7n and minus of 22. This is how we are getting the answer of an, which is the general term. Right? So this is the general term, and if we have to verify it, how we can do? We can verify it by putting the value of n. Means if n is 3, we will get 7. This is 21 minus 22, which is minus 1. So this is just to verify that we are getting a correct answer. Correct? And if we have to put n as 10, if I take n as 10, it becomes 70 minus 22, and 70 minus 22 again gives me the value which is 48, which is again correct. Right? So this is how we are getting the values. So let us start with the whole procedure. Here it's already given as a solution. If you have understood what we have discussed, it's fine. Otherwise, you can go through the whole solution, and it is giving us the same thing. Means what we have calculated as D, and when D is being calculated, we have used A1 by using the value of D, that is giving minus 15, and hence we have obtained the solution 7n minus of 22. Right? Here you can see they have written minus 22 plus 7 n, but actually whenever you are going to work with the polynomials, we start with the values and then the constant at the last. So here we are getting an is equal to 7n minus of 22. Correct? So this is what we are getting in the answer. So you have done. But if you are not going to give me the answer now, I am going to ask one by one, taking your name, that this person is going to give me their answer. because otherwise I'm not getting whether you are working or not working. Only one or two student is giving me answer. All other are just joining the meeting but not doing anything. Okay. Let us start with the next one. Now we are going to start with the arithmetic series. What arithmetic series is? Till now we have learned about the arithmetic sequence. Arithmetic sequence, what we have seen is that it's starting with the numbers followed by, or you can say it's just a sequence in which the numbers are having a common difference d, and hence we have written the some terms, some general terms. We have obtained some of the expressions. Now we are going to work with the arithmetic series. Series means we are going to find out the sum, and sequence means just the number separated by commas. This is what we have learned. And if we talk about arithmetic series, so arithmetic series is, it is the sum of the terms of an arithmetic sequence. Whatever sequence is, if you are going to take the sum of the terms, it makes the arithmetic series. For example, if we take some of the first terms of the sequence defined by this, how we can write down? We can write down S5, which is the notation. N is going from 1 to 5, and here we have defined 2n minus 1. Correct? So I have to put n is 1, n is 2, n is 3, 4, and 5. And finally, we have to add them all to find out the final answer. Correct? So this is how we are getting. Correct? So we are getting sequence means when we have the numbers separated by the commas that have a common difference. Series means we are going to sum them up as a partial sum. We are going to find out the terms and we are going to add them up. Here we have a formula which is the nth partial sum of an arithmetic series. Sorry, arithmetic sequence. So how we are going to write down? Here it is given Sn is equal to a1 plus an into n by 2, and this is whole is given that how we are going to add them. If we talk about Sn, we are saying a1 plus a2 plus a3 up to an. So we are saying a1, a2 can be written as a1 plus d, a1 plus 2d, a3, and so on. And if I write down the series in reverse, we can have a1 can this an can be written as here an. Then the last term is an minus d, means if we are writing out that an is the final term, then it is an minus d, an minus 2d up to a1. So if I add these two, we are getting Sn is equal to a1 plus an, from here again a1 plus an, and so on. So we are getting Sn is equal to n times a1 plus an, because this d is going to cancel out d. But actually the proof is not in our course, so just you have to learn is how to write down the nth partial sum. So this is the formula that you have to learn when we are talking about the first term is known, the last term is known an, then how to find out the partial sum of the arithmetic sequence. So this is the formula. We are saying Sn is equal to n times a1 plus an divided by 2. So you have to remember this only. What here I have discussed is, this is how we are getting the formula. It is just for the sake of your knowledge. Correct? So here we have to calculate the sum of first 100 terms of the sequence divided by an is equal to 2n minus 1. This is actually an example that if this is the formula and we have to calculate the sum of first 100 terms. Sum of first 100 terms means we are looking for S100. This is what we have, n is 100. If we talk about n become 100, so what we need the first term, we need the 100th term, and to be divided by 2, the sum. So if this is the sequence, what I have to do, I have to put n is 1. So if I put n is 1, I will get a1 is equal to 1. If I put n is equal to 100, I will get 200 minus 1 gives me 199. So hence, using these values, the sum of first 100 term is coming as 10,000. Correct? Because otherwise it will be hard to see how to sum them up. So here we have a formula n by 2 a1 plus an, which is the sum of the nth term or nth partial sum of an arithmetic sequence. Hope so you're getting it. Next we are saying that if you have to determine the 50th partial sum, Anji beta,
Ma'am, repeat once.
pardon?
Ma'am, can you repeat again?
Okay, sure beta. Here we are saying that this is the formula Sn to find out the partial sum of an arithmetic sequence. It means when the first term is known, the nth term is known or the formula is known, and we have to sum the terms up to a particular n term, means a1 plus a2 plus a3 up to an. We are finding out the sum, or I can write on summation 1 to n an. This is what we are meaning for the sum of all the terms starting from a1 to an. So we are not going to each term and taking their sum. We have devised this formula Sn is equal to n by 2 a1 plus an. In this example, we have taken that we have to calculate the sum of first 100 terms of the sequence defined by this an. Correct? So if I have to use this formula, what I can say, I need the value of n. So n is known to me, n is 100. We are looking for the 100 terms. We are looking for a1 and an must be known. So if this sequence is there, I can put n as 1. By putting n as 1, I will get 2 minus 1, 1. Similarly, if I put n as 100, 100 is there, 200 I will get minus 1, I will get 199. So just by putting n, a1 and an and calculating this simple formula, I will get an answer which is actually the sum of first 100 terms of this sequence. Correct? To make it more clear, let's see the next one, and if still you are not getting or any confusion, you can ask me. Here we are saying in a similar thing, in a similar example, if we have to find out the 50th partial sum, what is the sum of the values starting from a1 to a50. This is the meaning of 50th partial sum, means we are going to add a1 plus a2 plus a3 up to a50. We are not going to calculate each and every term because it is very hectic to calculate. So what we are going to do, again we are going to take the formula into picture. So we are saying the formula is Sn is equal to n a1 plus an by 2. So n is here 50. So we are going to find out S50. We have written 50 by 2 into a1 plus an. a1 we have already calculated from here. What is a1? By putting n is 1, we obtain a1 is 1. And if I take n is 50, so it becomes 50 into 2, 100 minus 1, 99. So it's become 249. 800 is 199. I think some mistake is there. It's not correct, but here the answer is not correct. Here we have a50. So if we have to find out the same formula and we are saying, okay, might be here something is missing. Let me check. Might be some during copy and paste the formula is not copied correctly. So that's why here a1 is also changed. But let us do for the same example. So we are not going to take this. If I take the same example, how I have to write down, it's 50 by 2 into a1. So according to this, a1 is my 1. So it is 1 plus, if I take a50, so a50 we have calculated by putting n is equal to 50 here. So 2 into 50 means 100. 100 minus 1 gives me 99. So it becomes 99 plus 100, and 100 by 250 and 50 into 50 gives me 2500. So this is the answer of the 50th partial sum of the given sequence that we have in the last slide. Might be this is for some different formula which is not here, because you can see here a1 is given as 4. And so might be some formula is given here, and I forgot to copy and paste it here because it is taken from your NCERT book. So there is a mistake, sorry for that. But here what we have seen, that how to calculate the 100th partial sum or how to calculate the 50th partial sum. Correct? So this is how we are getting the answers. Okay, time is going to be over. Let me check how many slides are remaining. and then we'll continue. Okay, only 4 slides are there. Chaliye, let us continue. uh, Here we are saying you have to evaluate n 1 to 35, 10 minus 4n. Correct? So what we are going to say is looking like that I have to use n as 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 35. And if I have to sum them up for this, is it feasible? I don't think so. So what we have to do, we have to again use the partial sum formula. We have Sn is equal to n by 2 a1 plus an. And what is your a1? We have to put n is equal to 1 here. Means if I say this is my an, means I can write down an is given by 10 minus of 4n. So if I put the value of n as 1, if I put n is equal to 1, I will get a1 is equal to 10 minus 4. That gives me 6. Correct? And all the terms, I think it's not required now, because we are going to use the formula. Otherwise, if somebody is not aware of the formula, they are going to take a1, a2, a3, a4 up to a35, which is very time consuming. But here we are aware of the formula, so we are not going to take it. We are just going to calculate a1, the first term, and the last term. We are going from 1 to 35, so we have to calculate 35th term. So it becomes 10 minus 4 times 35. Correct? So this will give me the value of 835. And if I have to find out this sum, I can say this is a partial sum S35, which is given by n by 2. N by 2 means 35 by 2 a1. A1 is our 6 plus an. An is our 35. 835. So can you calculate it for me and give me an answer? And let's see how many of you are active. And if you're doing in the same way, from the next class I will give you the attendance as per your performance, because I have seen the 10 to 12% have joined me and nobody is responding. Only Sumit and 1 2 more persons are responding. But it's not so. You have to participate, you have to discuss with me. Now try to write in the final answer. The calculation is on the screen. You have to just use a pen and paper and work on it. Write in the answers, please. And if you are not doing, then I'm going to stop, because it is obviously very absurd situation when a teacher is asking for an answer and 10 students are joining and nobody is responding. So next time pass on a message to your group that I will give you the attendance after half an hour, and only to those who are being active in finding out the solutions. Okay, now Gagandeep has given me an answer. I'm not sure whether it's correct or not. Let's wait for other responses. Good. Sanjeev has given an answer which is different from Gagandeep. Let's see what the common answer we are getting. I request all others to write down the answer what they are getting. Now this time I think if somebody is there means some students are being active because it's going to the time of end of the session. Huh? You are going to see that when we are going to end the session. You have to respond better, otherwise there is no use of the online class. Otherwise you can just upload the recorded lecture also. है ना? We are doing it live so that we will see how many students are actively involved and how they're doing the work. Let's see the solution. Some of you have answered me. Shivani, Sanjeev, Antar, Gagandeep. I think 4 to 5 students again. Let's see. And what I can observe is nobody is getting a correct answer. That's the amazing thing. I don't know why. All of you are getting an answer which is 7,000 something, and actually the answer is coming in 2,000 something. Hmm? Why so? So let's see from here what we have done till this. So if we have done here, we are getting 35 by 2, 35 divided by 2, and here if we do, here we have 10 plus 6, 16, and minus of 4 into 35. 4 into 35 will give me, let me write down the value 35 into 4. I think it's 140. No? It's giving me 140. So if I have to simplify it, it gives me 35 by 2, and 16 minus 140 is 124, correct? It's minus of 124, and if I divide it, it becomes 62, and on the multiplication of the 2 you can verify the answer is coming as minus of 2170. So this is what the answer is. Yes, Sumesh has given an answer which is correct, and by writing out the incorrect answer, he has again got into the category of incorrect one. Earlier he has given me the correct answer with negative sign and then change it to positive one. And Shivani, beta, your answer is totally different. Okay, you might be told me this product. चलिए, we have the solutions with you. We have also discussed. So this is the final answer, and be sure to be actively participate. So let's stop for the today. One example is still pending, but we will continue in the next lecture. Okay. Thank you, beta. If you have doubts, you can ask me in the Help You Live. Otherwise, you can ask me here on the chat box in the next lecture. Thank you, beta.